Hey guys, George here for the F1 Chronicle, and today I'm bringing you 5 drivers that you should be looking out for ahead of the Japanese Grand Prix. 5 drivers that we think will have an interesting impact on the weekend, and we are very intrigued to see how they get on at Suzuka this weekend. And first up, we can't start anywhere else other than with Yuki Tsunoda, the home hero himself, going for another points finish at Japan. He was so good in Australia. Yes, he got slightly lucky with Alonso's penalty, but he still finished the race in 8th, promoted up to 7th after that penalty. And yeah, we're very interested to see how he gets on because he's got a big old hole of points for the Racing Bulls and really giving them an advantage in that battle between the bottom 5 teams, really. And of course, Suzuka is a circuit that he knows like the back of his hand. He's got the home crowd roaring him on. Could it be another good points finish for the Racing Bulls in his hands? Well, we'll see how that works out. The home fans will definitely be hoping so. But from one RB driver to the other, Daniel Ricciardo. Now, Ricciardo is such an interesting driver because he came back into F1 as someone who was on a redemption arc. You know, he had those couple of races, and then he had a few more later in the season last season. Pulled out an unbelievable drive in Mexico, fully earned that seat at AlphaTauri, which became Racing Bull this year. But since then, the guy's been under pressure. He has been outperformed by Yuki Tsunoda comfortably so far this year. And it's been compounded by Yuki Tsunoda scoring the only points for the team so far this season. And there are a lot of rumours around the paddock about him being replaced by none other than Liam Lawson, the person that a lot of people thought should have been in that Racing Bull seat this year. A person that I think probably should have been in the Racing Bull seat this year. But to sack Ricciardo this early in the season would be unbelievably harsh. So he is under massive pressure if the rumours are to be believed. And he'll probably need a good drive in Suzuka, particularly if Tsunoda scores points this weekend as well, which I think is definitely on the cards. Also on the cards, I'm going to highlight Fernando Alonso. Now, Alonso had a very interesting race in Melbourne, to say the least. Obviously, the incident with George Russell, whether you believe it's right or wrong that he got a penalty, he still got a penalty. Got a couple points for his effort, but not a great weekend for him with that. His actual pace was great, but yeah, to end up where he did was not great in the end. But this is a track that serves him well over the years. Obviously he got that amazing overtake on Raikkonen back in the day in 2005. One of the highlights really of Suzuka that I've already brought up in my 5 most memorable moments around the track. But yeah, I'm going for Alonso to do it pretty well this weekend. Podium may be off for the cards. I mean, that's my kind of bold prediction, but I think a strong points finish is definitely like this. This is a track that he does very well around over the years, but Aston Martin's not looking too great. However, the Ferrari is looking pretty good. Looking pretty good indeed. And I'm highlighting Charles Leclerc because he is a guy that, I don't know if he's under pressure at the moment, but he's probably been shown up a bit by Carlos Sainz. Sainz has had surgery, came back to win the race in Australia. An article I went into detail about, Sainz being the most underrated and underappreciated driver in F1 right now for F1 Chronicle. Please do check that out when you get the chance. But yeah, I'm going for Leclerc to, have a good weekend this weekend. It is a track that suits him well. He's under a bit of pressure, and people are thinking, maybe, Ferrari dropped the wrong guy for next year. But I'm very interested to see how the Monegasque gets on. And last of all, I'm going to highlight Sir Lewis Hamilton, another driver that, obviously he's moving to Ferrari next year. The car maybe doesn't suit him too well at Mercedes this year. The car is not that great either. I think it's comfortably behind the McLaren in that battle for third, which I think really is a battle for fourth between, Mercedes and Aston Martin. That's where they find themselves at the moment. But Hamilton, a driver who's had a lot of success over in Japan over the years, I think he'll beat George Russell this week. And I think he needs to beat George Russell as well to kind of save his reputation more than anything. But which driver are you going to be looking out for this weekend in Japan? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, head over to f1chronicle.com for all your news before the Japanese Grand Prix and during the Japanese Grand Prix weekend as well.